Hello everybody. I have owned this 2004 Chevrolet Silverado for 20 years. We'll take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Kind of do a little close-up look at it, see how it's doing. No rust. Nothing's falling off here. All that looks okay. No rust. No rust there either on the cab corners. No problems there. Leaf springs aren't rusty. Not seeing any rust there either. Tailgate looks good. Then you can get in over here. Frame is still black. How about that? I'm not seeing any rust here. Nope. Nothing's falling off here. Nothing in there. Door handle's not broken. Nothing wrong with the mirror. And then nothing wrong with this wheel either. I don't see any rust or anything. So on the outside I have replaced these. Replaced that once, that twice. That's going to need to be replaced because it's got a nice crack on it now. And then same thing over here, that's been replaced once, twice. I have replaced both taillight housings. Of course they delaminated like they all do, but they're all good now. Just a matter of maintaining them and replacing parts when they go bad. Crawl underneath it a little bit. Cab mounts look okay. Doesn't look like anything's leaking at the moment. But I heard that all these rust out, but not seeing anything on this one. Huh, that's odd. Transmission's been just fine on this truck. Haven't had any issues from it. Changed the fluid a couple times. Probably do again pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood. The spring retracts the handle back automatically, so I don't have to push it back in. And having this since brand new, I know the history of it. No major issues. Of course, it's had the little GM issues that all these get. But it is the 4.3 V6. Gets around 20 miles per gallon, and it goes down the road. Does it do it very fast? Not really, but it does from point A to point B, and that's its job, and that's the main thing. Looks pretty good to me. Brakes are original. Had never been touched in 20 years. Oh, let's check the oil. Absolutely perfect. Hadn't been long since I changed it. When the weather gets real cold, it tends to leak a little refrigerant right there. But you might have seen in the OMT video, I did that a couple months ago and it's still fine. So it's just a cold weather thing, so eventually I'll have to replace this line that goes down here to the condenser, but again, not a big deal. I've had two check engine lights The first one was the thermostat was stuck open, so I got a low coolant temperature, triggered the light. The second one was last year, triggered the code for the mass airflow sensor. I cleaned that, changed the air filter, light went out, no problem. So far this year, no check engine lights. And I did, several years ago, 2016 maybe, replaced all the hoses and belt and the deck's coolant. Flushed the system out and replaced that. So probably going to be due again pretty soon. Give it another year or two. So that's about all as far as under the hood goes. So let's take a look at the interior. It's a little bit dirty. Hadn't had a chance to clean the interior yet, but the seat's not ripped. Seatbelt kind of still retracts. There it goes. I heard that brakes on all the Silverados of this era. Console's not tore up. I don't see any issues with the headliner. I mean, even in here, the dome light works. That light works. Power locks work. Oh, that door handle works as well. How about that? And that light works. So all my interior lights are working. And then here's a look at the headliner from this side. Again, no issues. Hadn't got around to getting a new toll tag yet, but that's all right. Let's see how this seat belt retracts. That's how it should do. That's got very little use. Cup holders are good. This seat's mint condition. Rarely gets used. So it's pretty clean on this side. Then here's all the controls panel over here, all working. That mirror's no problem either. So here's the controls panel. Guess we can test some of this stuff out. I'm pretty sure everything works in here. Radio works. CD player works. There, it does have the CD in it. And it loads, so no issues with the radio. So there's that. Of course, here's one of the GM problems that pops up. Give it a little flick and that light comes on. So let's start it up. Starts right up. Gauges are working. Let's see how many miles are on it now. 125,417, so not too bad for the age. And then of course, no check engine light or anything like that. Do have the parking brake on, which works, and then I don't have my seatbelt fastened. Here's the climate control. Air conditioner works. So I can put my seatbelt on. And disengage the parking brake, and as you can see, no warning lights on the dashboard. That's what happens when a vehicle is well maintained. So that all works. This all works. So what all have I had to do to this? Okay. The driver's side blend door on the climate control failed. The gauge cluster has needed to work a couple times. I replaced this multifunction switch. Wiper motor, which is still working good. Another thing that failed that shouldn't fail are the door speakers. I've had to replace the door speakers at least twice. Let's check the windows. See, I can roll mine all the way down and it doesn't get stuck. See, it'll go right back up, no problems. Same thing with the passenger. Auto down as well over there. And back up. Not a problem. And then what else? I have had to replace the low pressure valve on the AC and then recharge it. I have had to replace the washer pump for the windshield cleaner twice. When it had 1,000 miles under warranty, I had to have the intermediate steering shaft replaced because it started doing that clunky thing when you turned a corner. And then just general maintenance, I've changed the shocks twice, several batteries. It's gotten one tune-up where I did the cap, rotor, plugs, and wires, and cleaned the throttle body. But I guess I can get the Ghost Pro and we can take a drive in this thing. I have kept a quick maintenance log in here for the past 20 years, so can go over here and confirm what I already talked about. So here's a look at the maintenance log. First oil change, 3,082 miles, 8/17/2004. And then pause to, if you want to look at something a little closer. I think there's a couple things I may have missed, like the transmission cooler line 12 of 2011. I remember one of those leaking. That was a pretty easy repair. And then, of course, batteries, stuff like that. Stepper motors, 1.5 of 13. So 11 years ago I did that. Fuel filters, wax, transmission fluid, just the normal stuff. Throttle body was in 18, and then the tune-up was in 19. And then I didn't put in there when I did the trade-in on that gauge cluster, but I can add that in there. But pretty well everything I've done to it over the past 20 years, which is mainly routine maintenance and the little pesky GM specific problems with the gauges and little details like that. So here is the window sticker. Arrival Blue Metallic is the original paint that's still on it, and the dark charcoal interior trim, which is all original. 4-speed automatic transmission, which is supposedly junk, but mine hasn't had any issues so far. And here is all the standard equipment. And indeed, the fuel mileage is within that range posted. Here's some of the other items. That 4-speed automatic transmission cost $1,095. The the Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana package. So there's all that. So let's see, after taxes and all that, we got back almost to the sticker price. I'm thinking I paid, the truck was actually like $18,000 and something. Put $8,200 down. I had the manufacturer's rebate of $1,000, so $9,200 down, $12,933.13 remaining. So I got that paid off a year early. 4/23/2004 is when I purchased this, brand new, and still have it to this day. So I've now arrived at the office. Notice all my dash lights are working. Everything's good. So this has been a look at my 2004 Silverado after 20 years of ownership. Thank you for watching.